using a variety of complex and simple sentences. Hi there, my name's Ben Worthington from IELTSPodcast.com. In this tutorial, we're going to look at two methods that you can use to introduce a variety of complex and simple sentences. Now, if you don't know, my name's Ben Worthington from IELTSPodcast.com. I started this project over 10 years ago to find the best advice for passing IELTS exam. You see, when I started teaching, I was a little bit lost. I was teaching university students midday, kids around 5 o'clock, and then business students in the evening, and then at the weekends, some IELTS students. And it was a mess. It was a mess. And so I wanted to focus on the IELTS because with these students, I could measure what was working and what wasn't working, because those who passed, obviously, would come back and say, hey, this worked, and this worked. So what I did is I launched this whereby I interview ex-IELTS examiners, language experts, find out what works, and then put it into my online course. And that's why we've got students regularly passing the exam. And I'll tell you more about them in a second. And this also led to us making this online essay correction tool, which you're probably aware of. You can find it by just visiting that link, or just go to IELTSPodcast.com, you'll find it there. And that's what these tutorials are built around, basically. So let's jump into it. We're going to use a variety of complex and simple sentences in our essay. It's necessary if we're going to get band 7 or higher. Now, there's two ways to go about this. We can go about it the first way, which is the traditional way, which I'll show you in a second, which is fine if you've got lots of time. It's probably the default standard way that a lot of tutors still use today when they want to improve their students' writing. And then after a few minutes, I'll show you the newer way. This is the one that Annabelle used in order to get band 7 in about 3 weeks. And she was stuck at 6.5, like a lot of students usually are. So let's have a brief look at the traditional method first. So we know that in the English language, there's 3 main types of sentence. There's probably a couple more, but these are the main ones: simple, compound, complex. Now, let's have a look at the examples. A simple one: if we fill our essay full of simple sentences like this, it's going to sound choppy and staccato, okay? And there's just one clause in this. That's why it's a simple sentence. Very unlikely you get this grammatically wrong. Likewise, we have the next type, which is with 2 clauses. Copyright laws are necessary for society as they provide rewards and protection to original artwork creators. This is slightly better than the previous one, but it's not really going to move the mark with regards to getting a band 7 or higher. Now, the third one is the complex sentence. Okay, this is because it's got one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. Okay, so let's have a look. Because they provide rewards and protection, that's the subordinate clause, copyright laws are necessary for society. So we can see we've got 2 clauses there, and this one depends on this one. Now, what a lot of students do, unfortunately, is they fill their essay with these complex sentences, thinking that's what they need to do to score higher. Now, the problem with this is, 1, it's incredibly difficult to read. 2, to score high, we need a variety of sentences. So we need the short ones, we need the medium ones or the compound ones, and we need the complex ones. And it's that variety that makes it easier to read. And also the short sentences are useful because they are quite direct and to the point. So this is why we need all 3 types. Now, the final reason why it's not advisable to fill your essay with these complex sentences or compound sentences is because the longer the sentence is, the higher the chance of a grammatical mistake. And this also induces reader strain because you've got to hold a lot of information in your head the longer the sentence is. So this is why I always say, let's use a variety. Now, it's actually not me who says it, it's actually in the criteria. So to get to the point where we are able to use a variety, we've got to be able to use co-coordinating and subordinating conjunctions. These are the words that join the sentences. Now, a lot of basic IELTS tutors will focus on this. They'll say, okay, you've got to use nevertheless, however, and whatever. Okay, but and yet and all of this. They are right to a certain extent. Okay, sometimes it can take a while to use them and also to use them accurately, especially the higher level ones. Within this, we've also got the subordinating conjunctions, okay? And again, what I'm going to do actually is paste a tutorial in this post where you can go and get more information about this, okay? Because it does need a little bit more time, and I strongly recommend, if you are interested in taking this route, then going to the tutorial and studying it at your own pace and reading it. Now, another way we can change or increase the variety of our sentence structures is by changing the part of the speech used. Now, this is incredibly useful for academic task 1. And we do have a module about this in the academic task 1 course, but it's also obviously useful for task 2. I'm not going to go into it now, but as you can see, I think it's relatively straightforward. Now, another way we can increase the variety is we can start with a prepositional phrase. Now, I like this one a lot, so much so that we've included it in the template. We've included it because it's quick and easy to use, and it's very adaptable as well. In this case, we've started with the word since. Since the beginning of the 1990s, technology has become an increasingly important part of our everyday lives. And also what this does is it's got a nice reference to a point in time. Okay, so it's probably going to help us increase the grammatical range by using different tenses as well. Yet another reason why it's included in the CTRT template, the same one that Annabelle used, incidentally. Now, the final way we can increase our sentence structure or our grammatical range is by using relative pronouns. Just as a side note, this is a useful technique for the speaking as well. I'm not going to go into it. I'll just show you some quick examples. Okay, it's relatively simple. We add the who, the what, the how. Okay, the who, the what, or the where, for example. And it just helps us boost our score. You know, as I said before, again, useful for the speaking. Now, this is, that's a rough crash course in sentence structure. If you are in a hurry, okay, then you probably need something a little bit more effective, a little bit faster, and a little bit easier. And that's what led me to make the templates. And let's just take a step back, okay? Because now to explain the power of these templates, we need to just look at who administers the IELTS exam. Well, it's jointly managed by British Council, IDP, and Cambridge Assessment English. Now, the good guys and girls at Cambridge Assessment English also have a online dictionary that you may have used before. In this online dictionary here, they're kind and they label the words by their level, C1, C2, B2, B1. Those in Europe will probably be familiar with this classification. But what it basically means is that a C1 word will equate to between band 7 and band 8, and a C2 word is around a band 8.5 or 9. Now, what would happen if we used sentences with C1 or band 7 or 8 level vocabulary or adjectives, what would happen if we used these words in our sentences? Well, we're probably going to increase the chances of getting that band 7 or band 8 or band 9. And that's exactly what the template is made out of, okay? So we could say there is proof, okay? For example, in the middle of our body paragraph. But we could also say there is ample evidence to suggest, okay? To suggest that scientists will promptly discover. Or we could also say there is ample evidence to suggest that local governments will be implementing. So what I'm saying is that when you've got a template with some like universal phrases here, and then we just drop in some vocabulary that relates to our idea, then it becomes incredibly much easier, much faster to score higher in the exam. And it becomes easier and faster to write your essay as well. Now, obviously, there's more sentences. Another example. Numerous studies have consistently found that students who learn 3 languages, okay, again, we could say numerous studies have consistently found that pollution is increasing at a dramatical rate. Numerous studies have consistently found that crime in inner cities is consistently more severe, or whatever, okay? So we've got these useful phrases. This would be incredibly useful in a body paragraph when you're developing your idea. And look, consistently, how good is that? Well, it's C2. What level is C2? Band 8.5, band 9. Now, I'm not saying that if you use these phrases, you're automatically going to get your band 7 or band 9. What I'm saying is that it will increase the chances, especially if you're using them accurately. That's why you need to get feedback on your essays to check that you're using them accurately. Now, just one last thing with templates. You've probably used templates before in the past. For example, you might have used, I don't know, just a simple structure. Hi, how are you? One of the first phrases we learn in the English language. Okay, hi, how are you? Now, as you've progressed with your English language ability, you'll probably use the same template, but expanding it. So, how is your project going? Or how are your pets doing? You know, how are your brothers and sisters nowadays? You know, and you start adapting it, but you've used that same structure and you've adapted it for different situations. And that's exactly what we're doing here with the templates. We will give you a template such as this, okay? And then we'll guide you into using it for an essay about crime, for an advantage-disadvantage essay about climate change, for a to what extent do you agree essay about education, okay? It's basically like a universal template that you get, you use, you develop, you make it your own, just like you've done with other phrases in the English language, and it just speeds up your progress exponentially. Now, because we like working with action takers, what we're doing at the moment is for the first 15 students, each month, we are giving them a $100 discount coupon. Now, there's only 15 of these each month. If you miss it this month, you have to wait till the next month. But basically, you can get all of the online courses we've got. That includes the one with the templates, the CTRT templates, the speaking confidence course, the reading course. You'll get your 24-hour email support. You'll get 55% discount on next purchases. You're going to get all of this and your IELTS examiner essay corrections and your academic task 1 course and your general task 1 course. This is worth well over $400. You're going to get it all for $300 minus $100. So you're going to basically get it for $200. All of this plus the academic one, plus the general task 1 course. And because you've watched all of this tutorial, you're also going to get an extra 2 essay corrections for free to make it easier for you to pass. Now we're going to put all of this together and you can get it all for $200 but only if you use the coupon, which you can see below. And each month, we've only got about 15 of these coupons. After that, you have to pay the full whack unless you wait till the next month. So have a look at that course. Also, have a look at Annabelle's story. It's a fascinating story. You'll learn lots from it. And this is one of the other things that we recommend our students do, is that they listen to not only to experts like myself or the ex-IELTS examiner Ellen we've got correcting the essays, or Rob, for example, another person you probably know, but listen to the students who've actually passed, and listen to how they can help you score higher.